Now, the October inflation rate of 40.4% is a whole story. In this story, undergarment have refused to remain under. The cost of women's underwear in the month under review saw an annual uptick of more than 89%, making it one of key drivers of the over 2 decades high inflation rate.
One interesting feature of the new inflation drivers is that of the inclusion of underwears, particularly that of women. We are still in the Malata market. Let's get into this shop where we'll be educated on some of the prices that used to be and what they are now. What really are some of the things that have contributed to the prices that we have now for it to even feature in this particular report? Good evening. What's your name?
Fine one. My name is Mary.
Okay, great. Mary, so generally though, how good or bad has the business been in terms of selling underwear?
Very, very bad. Formerly it was okay, a little bit, but now there is very bad. Very bad because of the prices and then how the safer and then the dollar, because of the safer in the dollar.
See, so those are major things that are worrying the business that you are doing, the dollar and the safer?
Yes, that's what I've said. As for the goods, when you go to buy, if you go to buy, they haven't increased it. But when the safer shoots, then the things goods also shoot. Hey, praise my English.
Don't worry. Don't worry, you'll be fine. So walk us through some of the ones that you have. The report says underwear, particularly that for women.
Okay, we have this cotton pants. This cotton pants is formerly somewhere May, June, it's 50 Ghana cedis for a dozen. Now it's 100 Ghana. And then we have this type. The same month is about 2 or 3, 4 months ago. It's 60 Ghana cedis. Now we are selling it 101.
60 Ghana cedis, did I hear that?
Yes, please.
And it's now how much?
101.
110, 101 Ghana cedis. 10. That's about 50 Ghana cedis more.
Yes, because of the safer. You see, I've already told you that it's about 2 or 3, 4 months ago. The safer was 8 cedis. And now it's about 2 cedi and this thing. So you can see the difference. Okay. Through the safer.
So which other ones do we have? So the one that you raised earlier, what was the name?
Hey, the pants.
I thought some of the panties have names. Forgive me, I mean, I'm not so much educated on the types of panties and stuff that we have. Okay.
Like Dinah Rose. This one is Dinah Rose. And then, oh, this. You can see this one too. The ladies, for the ladies. Sister Miniji Egbe. Eh?
So this is the famous G-string?
Yes. So you can see.
So for this one, for instance, the one that you are
One
holding.
is 10 cedis. Formerly it was 6 cedis.
So for this one, now 10 cedis. Let's go back to last year December.
Dozen price.
Okay, so last year December, dozen price was how much?
Now dozen price is 10 cedis.
So last year December, how much did you sell it? Okay.
Last year, because even just about 3, 4, 5 months alone, it has shoot.
Now, for the inflation, non-alcoholic beverages contributed to the highest rate of 40.4%. Housing, gas, water, electricity, diesel and petrol all contributed significantly to the new rate. Isaac Kofi J. Minta is a data analyst with our research team here. I join you here as a breakdown of the percentages. Now, Isaac, what do we know so far? I mean, we saw Papa Nida telling us more about what the market is saying, but in terms of the data we have, what is it telling us?
So there's actually a perfect correlation between the picture that Papani painted in the market to what we have here on the touch screen. So this is what the Ghana Statistical Service data is actually saying. So if you look at the year-on-year inflation rates, we have, the key suspects, which is either diesel or petrol and transportation. And so if you look at this chart, you can actually see the top 10 drivers of the 40.4% inflation rate that we see for October 2022. So the first one is diesel with an inflation rate of 155.6%. This simply means that the price that you used to buy, per liter of, for diesel, that's somewhere October last year. If you compare it to this year, October, the price has actually gone up by 155.6%. Same for petrol, 101%, granules, 111%, palm oil, 105%. There's also washing powder, 104%, sunflower oil, 102%, millet, 96%, coconut oil, 95.5%. And there's, what Papa Ni was actually trying to interrogate, the underwear for women with, an inflation of 89.2%. So it simply means that if you're a lady and you used to buy, your underwear for, let's say, like 20 cedis or 10 cedis, now you need close to, if you're buying at 10 cedis, you need like 20 cedis to buy the same underwear that you're buying somewhere October last year. If you look at the regional breakdown, although the headline figure is 40.4%, there are some regions with inflation rates above 40%. Now, once upon a time, Eastern region was the region with the least inflation, but currently Eastern region has the highest inflation, more than 51%. There's Greater Accra region, 49.1%. There's also Central region with an inflation rate of 46.6%. You made mention of other key products that are actually driving the 40% inflation that we are seeing. There's water with an inflation of 64.3%, milk and other dairy foods, 53.9%, and you can actually see the rest of the data as we have painted for you to understand. But I want us to do this trend analysis for our viewers at home to actually understand what you're talking about. If you compare what is happening in other African countries, you realize that Ghana actually has a peculiar situation. So we are looking at inflation rates for countries like Togo, where government is now spending close to $20 million every month to make sure that the price of fuel and other food items are down. Their inflation rate is now just 7.9%. If you look at somewhere, Zambia, they just received an IMF program of $1.3 billion. Their inflation has moved from a double digit now to a single digit of 9.7%. Now let's scroll down to our beloved country, Ghana. So we know countries like Sudan and Zambia have peculiar situations. So you can't really compare them to Ghana. But if you look at the chart, Ghana is more or less like the country with the worst inflation of 40.4%, moving from 37.2% from September, Brace.
Worrying statistics there, but